What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Mead. Shaun, how is it going?
Not so bad, Connor. How are you?
You sound like my psychiatrist. I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Good. And has the rash cleared up?
See, now people are going to think, yeah, it has. It has.
I'm not sure what a psychiatrist does, I'll be honest.
Are you mixing up psychiatry and doctoring? Doctoring.
Now who's the thick one?
No! I've been found out that I don't know what a doctor does.
A bit of docting, yeah. He does docting on the side.
I don't know the action word for to be a doctor.
Practicing doctor?
No, I think it's doctor.
That's a very good point, actually. Doctoring, medical, GPing? No.
If you were learning a foreign language and it said to doctor,
yeah.
But then what's the past and present tense? We don't know.
He treating.
That's an action he's doing though. But what's the action of a doctor? Oh. This is nothing to do with the show.
No, it's not at all. But my God, that's a fucking great question. Because a bricklayer, that's a noble thing. You lay bricks.
So you're saying what's a not noble profession in a global pandemic is a doctor?
What have they done recently? Is all I'm saying.
What have they done for me recently? Nothing.
Look, we'll get off of our doctor bashing for one episode.
One episode? I'll take down my banners.
This is about movies, Connor.
Okay. You can probably already tell that we are in a bit of a strange mood, but Shaun, it is Sunday that we are recording this. So, this means that guaranteed Fantastic Four trailer is dropping tomorrow. And
yeah.
If it doesn't, I will be very pleasantly surprised, because whenever we even dare to record slightly, even a day earlier, it always goes wrong and we look like fools.
It's every single time. Sometimes it's when we decide to record an hour earlier.
Yeah.
Something is dropped.
While we're doing the show, it comes out. I've
been uploading shows before and my phone has gone off. And it's like, Endgame trailer released.
So, Shaun, we're going to have to start this week with news actually sent in by one of our patrons, Róisín Hally. Now, she tweeted this at us, but I had already seen it and was like, oh shit, this is a big Movie Mondays story. That is the news that Knives Out has added a few cast members for Knives Out 2, Shaun.
It has. It has indeed.
So, first of all, Knives Out 2. Knives Out 1 is one of my favourite movies from the last few years. It's one of those classic mystery capers that you gotta love. Maybe not like every year, but if it comes out every few years, great.
Yeah, it's like an event kind of film.
Yeah, and so Knives Out 2 has been bought by Netflix, who bought it for nearly like $450 million.
Yeah, they got the rights to 2 and 3, wasn't that correct?
2 and 3, both written by Rian Johnson. And so Daniel Craig, we know, is coming back. But
yes.
In addition to Daniel Craig, we have a whole new cast. The first one had a very strong cast. This one is coming back with the same level of strength. And so number 2 has added Edward Norton, it's added Dave Bautista, and it's added everyone's favourite WandaVision character, Catherine Hahn. And
My God.
All 3 are joining Knives Out 2, Shaun. Where do you want to start with this?
I mean, like, you could have said any one of those people and it would have been like, oh, that's a good get. But the fact that 3 of them have all signed on, just off the basis of the first one was class. I think that's... Any question about Rian Johnson being a bad filmmaker is like thrown out the window with Knives Out. Because there was that whole campaign of hate towards him after Star Wars, the 8th Star Wars. Why
did you say that like you never heard of Star Wars?
I can't remember. What was it? The Last Jedi was 8, or was that the 9th movie?
Oh, boys.
Return
of the King? Right? Is it Return of the King?
The Lion King 3, correct.
Yes.
No, I'm really excited for Knives Out 2. I hope they continue the trend of Daniel Craig coming in being Benoit Blanc and all of the characters around him being terrible people.
Yeah, and I think that works great. That, like, the first one is just everybody is terrible and you think he's an idiot, and then at the very end he's just like, I'm the greatest detective of all time. And that's a classic trope for this kind of stuff, and it's great.
Yeah.
But in this one, like, I want Edward Norton to be the biggest dickhead ever in this film. Like, who the fuck are you, Benoit Blanc? What the fuck do you have to do here? And then you've got Dave Bautista there. I mean, I think this is a massive get for Dave, because he's always trying to strike out and do new things, and
he's having a good time of it recently. He has this, he has Army of the Dead, and he has June as well coming up.
Yes, so he's all over the place these days. For a man that's come from wrestling, very simple. Like, he just went hammer and tong into it, that he started doing Guardians, and then from that he's been doing James Bond and June, as you said, and so he's constantly trying to improve, and we like that for Big Dave. Go for Big Dave.
We support Dave Bautista in all things on this podcast.
Yeah, and so to see him join in with this cast and to see that, like, get fanfare is a really cool thing, because, like, a few years ago everyone was like, who the fuck is Dave Bautista? But now he gets added and you're like, oh, Dave Bautista's in Knives Out too.
Yeah, he's a get now. Like, he draws an audience with him, which is a big thing for an actor to be able to do. Catherine Hahn as well. I think, like, because she's done a load of stuff in the past. I knew her from Parks and Rec. She was on that and she played the best character. But, like, I think WandaVision has just, like, propelled her into, like, oh, all of the internet knows who she is now, and they will go see anything she's in.
She's got that Marvel stamp now, that she's been in a Marvel production and she was actually one of the main characters.
All three of these people have been main characters in a Marvel production.
Okay, right. We're going to have to go back. Edward Norton.
Yeah. Do
you feel like his fame came from Hulk?
I think that's the main reason people know Edward Norton, correct?
Yes. Up until 2008, nobody knew who the fuck this guy was. He was hot in the scene.
He did this weird indie film about fighting people. It was didn't care for it.
We don't like it. Go Big Green Man, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because in the first Knives Out, it was a family was the situation, wasn't it?
It was a family, and it was, like, all intertwined. Now, that's kind of very much a part of these murder mysteries, that you go to a family gathering and then one of the family dies, and it's like, is it the uncle? Is it the aunt? What about cousin Jim, who's carrying a knife? Probably Jim.
It's Murdery Jim.
Murdery Jim. And Jim's like, I didn't do this one, I promise.
No, guys, you know me. I'd own up to it.
I'd hold me hands up, lads, you know what I'm like.
I just love killing. But I like, it could be, like, I suppose the beauty of that murder mystery scenario is you can just put those people, those characters, they can literally be anyone. They don't have to have any attachment to each other. The only, like, consistent thing in that universe is Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc.
Yeah, and you just pick that character up and you put him into a completely different part of the world. And just, like, there's a murder that has happened in this house or on this street, and everybody's a suspect. Go mad.
Yeah. Do you think this is the end of the cast announcements and the rest will be, like, fairly unknowns? Or do you think we're in for, like, another few big name actors coming in?
I mean, the first one had, like, Michael Shannon, you had Jamie Lee Curtis, Don Johnson, Toni Collette, like, it just went on, and Christopher Plummer as well. So
yeah.
I think these are three big castings, but I think it's going to get more and more. So every week, I think it's going to be a case of they're going to add someone else big, somebody else big, because the first one did very well, that it got in all these big people, but now that people know what the situation is, they understand that, oh fuck, there's an audience here. You're going to get even bigger stars. Now, that's not to say Jamie Lee Curtis is massive, and Chris Evans, of course, that we're forgetting from the first one.
Yes.
But I think Chris Evans' addition in the first one really helped that movie, because that was coming off Endgame. And so Chris Evans, one of the biggest stars in the world at that
stage. His face was everywhere. at that point.
And so you just put him in a trailer and so, oh, this is this is Captain America's new movie. And that kind of helped carry it, that people are going to see Jamie Lee Curtis and say Toni Collette and be like, they're big stars. But you see Chris Evans in 2019 or 2020 after Endgame and you go, that's one of the biggest stars in the world. What movie is he in? Yeah,
that man is synonymous with, like, cinema-going success.
Yeah, so I think this could be just the first few steps. And I think it's a pretty great first 3 castings of Catherine Hahn, Dave Bautista, Edward Norton. And you know it's good because Edward Norton doesn't sign up for shit.
No, he has never been in a bad movie in any respect.
Well, no, actually, he had that one time.
And on to the next story. I don't know what it is, so I'm going to improv something.
That one time around 2006 when they were filming in 07.
Oh, nothing's coming to mind, Connor. Just move on. We'll get it in the edit. No, that doesn't ring a bell. Doesn't ring a bell at all.
If anyone doesn't know the backstory, we were once on the radio, and I, as a fun gag, decided, Shaun, right, this week, what we're going to do is a fun Marvel bit where you pick your top 5 favourite Marvel movies, or top 5 best Marvel movies so far. And so, this was a few years ago, before Endgame and Infinity War, but we came on the show, and it's live, so I can't tell Shaun that he's wrong. We didn't pre-check each other's lists, and he came in at number 5 with a bullet. The Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk is a good, underrated Marvel film, and I will stand by that.
Top five!
Top 5. It's like Jaws, but superheroes. It's very suspenseful.
I think Civil War had come out at that stage.
Yeah, so had Black Panther.
Okay, right, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this is something regarding Marvel and the MCU, Shaun, and this is one of your favourite characters. Ghost Rider is rumoured to make his MCU debut in Doctor Strange 2. Shaun, what are your thoughts on this?
Interesting.
Lots of rumours this week is what I'll say.
That's fair. I also think we need to find some kind of pun around MCU and debut. I think that would be very good. I love this idea.
Can't really say the DCU, can you? Oh no, they already have that.
It's been taken. It's very similar to something in the comics, which is the Midnight Suns, which is it's a superhero team consisting. There's a whole bunch of people in it, but you have the likes of Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight. And I think Blade is in it as well at one point. And basically they fight all of the mystical, the magical side of the Marvel Universe. So demons and vampires and werewolves and all this kind of stuff. So it would be cool to even get a hint at that down the line. Because then you have Ghost Rider, who would exist in the universe and could show up maybe in the Moon Knight TV show that's coming out.
Yeah. And they are heavily implying that I think they're going to have Ghost Rider, who they now own, so they can use him however they want. But they're going to use him in a Hulk kind of scenario. I feel like there's a lot of Hulk talk. But by that I mean he probably won't get his own movie. And I think he might pop up in other people's films like, oh, that's the Ghost Rider. And so at the minute it's very vague onto what exactly he's going to be in this film. But what we do know about Multiverse of Madness is that they are going to many different multiverses. And so it could be a scenario that either one the Maximoff or you have Doctor Strange, one of them comes across Ghost Rider in some form. And this is the introduction of that character in the MCU. And from there, then you can start spreading him out into other properties the further you go along.
Yeah, and even like, because it might be a bit quote-unquote simple to just be like, oh, there's multiverses. Here's all these characters Marvel just acquired. So even if you had it that like Doctor Strange and whatever little crew he has running goes to these different universes, sees that these people exist in those universes, and then they say, look, there's probably an equivalent in our universe, and then they go looking for them.
Yes, okay, I can see that. Because what we do know about Multiverse of Madness is that it's going for like a horror team. Like it's a very
you got
fantastical.
Sam Raimi doing it.
And Sam Raimi is doing it, and it does have a very... The more you hear about its horror movie-esque approach to the franchise, just in this one film, and I think Ghost Rider's a great character. If you're going to bring in a horror element, you use him, and you can go balls to the walls, just fucking mad in terms of horror. Like, he has a skull that's on fire, and you just go mad into it.
He's the most edgy character that they could introduce, I think. We did a Hero or Zero on him previously, and he's one of those characters that had a very simple backstory at the start, and then it was convoluted, it was a convolution upon convolution as different writers took over him, changing the origin. So it'd be nice to see like the movie just be like, and here's what we're running with. We've picked the best parts of every Ghost Rider, and we've just mashed them all into one person.
There was apparently a Johnny Blaze appearance in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., played by Roberto Reyes. Yeah. Yes. And just for like a short period.
Pretty good CGI for a TV show.
Yeah, and I think that show has now been cancelled, but maybe that was like their first effort to be like, okay, we're just going to throw him in here, see what happens. Oh, there's good reaction. People like this character. Now, maybe they don't like the Cage Man playing him. We don't know. But would you bring Cage back is my question.
I don't think so.
Imagine I had asked that and you said, yeah, no, I think he's the perfect cast.
Oh, I think he's the only one I would choose for such a role.
Is there anyone else? I don't think so.
Name one other person that can ride motorbikes. No one. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise wouldn't do this. Although his head, it could be a skull underneath that fake skin. We don't know.
He could be a flaming skull, all right.
Yeah.
I like that they're going in more. I think we're going to get a lot more of that after Doctor Strange 2. The magic and the fucking weird side of Marvel. Mephisto confirmed? ?
Yeah, you have Mephisto, because if you have Johnny Blaze, you have Mephisto.
You have Mephisto, unless they change that origin quite substantially.
Could you explain why we think Mephisto might be in this, and who Mephisto is?
So Mephisto is basically the devil in Marvel Comics. He's not the actual devil, he just calls himself that to freak out humans. But basically Johnny Blaze was trying to save his foster father from cancer.
We've all seen Ghost Rider 1.
We've all seen Ghost Rider 1. So he makes a deal with Mephisto, and Mephisto's like, grand, he won't die of cancer. And then his foster father attempts to jump 13 cars at once.
Because he's like, I'm free of cancer! Quick, get the stunt ready!
YOLO! And then he instantly dies. But Johnny Blaze actually comes from this long line of people who are cursed to be Ghost Riders, who basically are spirits of vengeance. They basically are judge, jury, executioner in terms of people's souls.
Right. Okay.
So he's basically tied to Mephisto forever, whether he wants to be or not.
Yeah, and it's kind of like he tricks him into doing it. Like, oh yeah, I'll heal your dad and you can just sell me your soul. So you sell him your soul and then he's like, oh, now your dad's did something else. I didn't do that, sorry.
That's it. But Mephisto technically doesn't have his soul because his sister, who he's not related to, and I can't stress that enough, he's not actually related to her.
In the Hero Zero, are they not romantically linked?
They're very romantically linked, and her love protects him. And it's technically fine.
Technically, it's fine.
You wouldn't probably do it in real life, but technically,
you always want at the wedding to be like the guy's like, it's technically fine.
You can all enjoy yourselves because guess what, lads? It's technically fine.
Morally, not great. Technically, fucking bang on. Absolutely fine.
Now watch me light my head on fire.
So yeah, there could be an appearance of Ghost Rider in Doctor Strange. I think this will be the first of many rumours we have about that film, because not a lot of people know who is going to be in it, and I think the longer it goes, I think the more batshit these theories are going to be, that the Fantastic Four are going to come in, that all these people will be seen at least once in this multiverse film.
Yeah, and I think because it's multiverse, I think there's room for people to just get so hyped and excited, and because literally anything is possible. So I really hope it's not like the WandaVision scenario where expectations were raised and then immediately dashed.
Yeah, but I feel, we kind of put ourselves into that position. We're like, oh, they could do this, this, and this. Oh, wow.
Yeah, but when you bring in a certain actor and they turn out to be no one.
Yeah, no, I think that's a dickhead move.
I think that's just a bad move on their part.
So, Shaun, we're going to have to move on to our next piece of news, and this involves another piece of rumour. Now, I'm going to do a rumour back-to-back, because we're here for rumours and hearsay, Shaun.
Hearsay for hire, that's what we call ourselves.
That's what
now.
we call ourselves. So, normally I wouldn't do two rumours in the same week, because you normally get one rumour, then news. Yeah. But this second rumour is so batshit insane, I felt like you needed to hear that this is going around the internet right now.
Okay, hit me with it.
The rumour is that Daisy Ridley could be returning as Rey Skywalker in the new Star Wars movie.
No, she's not.
That's what I said.
You couldn't pay that woman enough money to go through that again.
All three of them will never go near the fucking franchise
They
again.
are so... unless they handed her, a literal castle made of gold.
No, George Lucas just turned up and gave her all of his stuff. It's like, here, have it all.
Just give us one more movie.
Yeah.
Is that character even, though, not to be fair, though, we were, I was going to say, is that character done? No one's ever done in Star Wars.
No.
We thought Luke Skywalker was done, and then they made him miserable. But
imagine Rey miserable. Few years down the line, give her a lightsaber over her shoulder. Fuck that. Hate it.
What if they did the exact same thing again?
Exact same story. Build up Force Awakens again, real new cool cast. You're like, fuck, this is a really good idea. And then just introduce the old trio and they're all just hate the franchise.
They're just fucking... And Harrison Ford is still there.
They film them off, they don't tell them that they're saying action. They just ask them their genuine thoughts on the franchise.
I'm fucking sick of all of this. This is bullshit.
Nothing's so
worth
deep.
this.
Keep going, Finn. You've got it.
I take from interviews that she has given, I was under the impression she was completely done.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. Once you jump into this, and I think the three of them were kind of very much shocked after the first one that of how consuming it is, because if you come into this and you've never done a franchise that big, it's going to hit you in the face, oh shit, everybody now knows who I am, which has good points and bad points, but probably more bad points than good points.
Yeah, and from what's been going around, they all didn't have the greatest experience on set either.
No.
In terms of being in that machine. It sounded like it was a lot to go through. I can't imagine... If I went through it, I wouldn't jump back into it again. For Star Wars 10, which...
But would it be Star Wars 10? Because there's many areas that they could bring her back in. Because now they have Disney Plus, they've got Patty Jenkins doing Rogue Squadron, they've got Taika Waititi's mystery Star Wars movie that nobody knows about. They even have Rian Johnson's trilogy that is still on the table.
Still happening.
Happening? Question mark?
I don't... look... They can do any number of things with any number of characters. I think the general response to Star Wars 9, which was the rise of Skywalker, I think, might have soured, that particular lineup of Star Wars characters. I think they mightn't have left on the best note to now reintroduce them as the next Star Wars film.
Yeah, I can see that. This is one of those things where I read it and I was like, fuck off. Go away from it.
Waste of my time.
Waste of my time. But then I was reading and they were like, oh, they've got so many properties. They couldn't necessarily bring her back. She might come back for a one-off showing in something. And, when you think about it, it would save everyone so much time if they get it out on the table early. She's related to Skywalker, or she has a name recognition to Skywalker. She's related to someone we've already seen, and she's called Skywalker, that saves several plot points later on down the line that you will eventually get to anyway.
That is true, and look, we love just, giving information freely and easily in these Star Wars movies. There's never any mysteries left hanging at all.
No. I want her to come back and then they say, oh, we got it wrong, you're actually a Solo. Oh, shit.
Do you know that fella Kenobi? You're not going to believe this.
Honestly. And Palpatine is back. I'm just going to drop that in here. But you're not going to believe who you're related to. It's actually mad.
So, I said he's back. I'll get to it. But
that's just I'll get to that now in a second. But I have a big paragraph written here about you being related to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Get it into you.
Start off. Camera. Pan down. Tatooine. Sand planet.
I need somebody there who's kind of lonely, needs a big hero story.
Boba Fett, correct.
Yeah, no, they tell her she's a Fett.
Who?
She's like, who are you talking? You know Boba Fett.
Yeah, no.
Everyone knows Boba.
Like, honestly, it would have made more sense if she'd called, this is beyond this conversation, if she'd called herself Rey Solo. Because, as we all know, Solo is the name assigned to anyone who has no people, apparently, in the Star Wars universe.
Apparently.
To Solo.
Apparently. You're here by yourself. I'm going to call you Solo. Haha, you fucking lonely prick.
But, because, she ends up with the Millennium Falcon and Chewie beside her and good friends with Lando. Wouldn't it make sense for her to be a Solo?
Yeah, but then the movie name doesn't make sense, Shaun.
Solo, a Rey story. Yeah, fair enough.
Rey story.
That's a new thing. It's a Rey story.
Imagine how mad people would get. I think lean into it. Go all in. Just keep making it related to everyone.
It's like Marvel's What If, but it's like, I don't know, what if she was a Hutt? I don't know.
Every single movie she appears in, her name becomes longer. So that she's like Rey Skywalker, Solo, Palpatine, Fett, Hutt.
Kenobi.
Yoda,
exactly.
Don't you know who I am? Do you have 20 minutes? I'll fucking tell you. Hang on.
It just unfurls a scroll and it just keeps rolling away.
So yeah, there is a rumour currently that she could be coming back. We don't know at what end. Would you like to see that character back, just as a character?
Look, fine, yeah, grand.
Yeah.
I don't care, I think.
That's worse. That is worse than no.
It is worse. I have no strong feelings one way or the other. I'm very beige about the whole situation at the minute. That's
kind of and you love Star Wars, and you're beige.
Yeah, I like Star Wars, but I'm a beige boy.
Yeah, okay.
What about you? Because you hate everything.
I notoriously hate everything, but I want her to come back just because I want to keep adding names. I think as just a comedy bit, I think that'd be great.
Just stir the pot.
I think bring her back. I mean, if she's willing to do it, if they get her back, she's got name recognition, and throw her into Rogue Squadron, or throw her into a movie that isn't Star Wars 10, throw her into something that's like a lower movie, and then you can be like, oh fuck, Rey's in this. You get a few more people to come.
That makes sense, yeah. Look, we'll see what happens. It's all rumours.
So I'm actually, our next story is shutting down rumours from last week. I felt like we did 2 rumours, now we need to shut down rumours from the woman herself. And that is Miss Emily Blunt. So last week we mentioned the fact that she had been in negotiation to play Sue Storm alongside her husband John Krasinski, who'd be playing Mr. Fantastic. And then somebody asked her about that this week, and she said she hasn't received any phone calls, but they just said basically, wouldn't that be great? But then she has fairly, I would say substantially, shut down the rumours altogether by saying, I don't know if superhero movies are for me.
Ooh. But she doesn't know. She's not sure. There's a chance.
Dumb and Dumber. There's a chance.
To be fair, I think we even might have touched on this last week. It's like she's doing a lot of movies, and she's doing a lot of different styles of movies. So maybe she doesn't want to be tied in for, 10 years of a contract. That might mess with things.
Now, this also doesn't mean John Krasinski isn't interested. I think him as Reed Richards actually, I think they're kind of set on bringing him in. Maybe not set, but like he's shown interest. He showed a lot more interest. He said he'd be very open to it. He's very flattered by the fans wanting him to play that character. So if Marvel came to him and said, "We're casting you," I'm sure he would be perfectly fine. But in terms of Sue Storm, I'll read you out what Emily Blunt has said about the rumours of her playing Sue Storm.
Right.
Now the first sentence is very interesting. and you will read a lot into the first sentence. She says, "It's not that it's beneath me."
Oh, you could have phrased it's a bit blunt, Emily.
I love Iron Man, and when I got offered Black Widow, I was obsessed with Iron Man. I wanted to work with Robert Downey Jr. It would have been amazing, but I don't know if superhero movies are for me. They're not up my alley. I don't like them. I really don't. It's just been exhausting. We are inundated. It's not only all the movies, it's the endless TV shows as well.
Oh, Dave. Oh, lads.
It's not to say that I never really want to play one. It would just have to be something so cool and like a really cool character, and then I'd be interested.
Wow.
Shutting rumours fucking down.
Fairly cut and dry on that one.
Would you still say, so you're saying there's a chance?
Oh, she's definitely Sue Storm.
Yeah, I think she's pretty much cast, yeah.
Yeah, I've read between the lines. Look, fair play to her for fucking speaking her mind. I'm as two men on a comic book and movie based podcast.
We have
more
to
content the better.
Yeah, we have to back ourselves and say she's wrong, but at the same time, she could have a pint shot. I'm not saying she does.
No,
like, potentially.
To be fair, it is wild that it's like the dominant form of entertainment and movies that comes out. That's it's totally fair to say it's not my thing. Like, I'm not saying no forever. If something's good, I'll do it. But I'm not, like, super interested in it at the minute. That's a completely fair thing for an actor, for, like, a professional at their job to say.
Yeah, and I think it's a case of, like, Scorsese, he said that thing, like, last year.
Oh, they're like circuses or something like that.
Yeah, like, and I think there's kind of, you're going to get two sides of Hollywood nowadays, where there's half of Hollywood is in Marvel, and the other half isn't in Marvel, and so it's kind of like, but then you can be seen to be like, oh well, I don't want to do it because they just haven't cast me. But like, if you're Emily Blunt or Scorsese, you don't need them. You're like, I'm already a big enough star, and I can just say what I think, and I just don't really want to be involved in a 10-year contract for a company that does every film. I'd prefer to do like interesting roles that I have more control over, which is completely understandable.
Absolutely. And like, look, you're saying like half of Hollywood is in with Marvel, half of them isn't. Like, the paychecks are just going to keep getting bigger and bigger until all of Hollywood works for Marvel.
Yeah.
That's like a definite thing. But then you see someone like Bill Burr, who famously came out and said he fucking hated Star Wars and he thought it was a ridiculous thing and he didn't get it. And then he's like, he's a key character in The Mandalorian.
I think you don't want to put yourself in that box that you're like, it's fucking shit and I hate it. I mentioned, by the way, that this week Mickey Rourke came out, star of Iron Man 2, and said Marvel suck. Every Marvel movie is shit.
Even the one I was in. Yep, I'll sink this shit.
To be fair, that is that's a really bad one that he was in.
It's not great. Yeah.
No.
And there is that thing of like, it's the Marvel formula and all the movies are basically the same for a while. They're starting to break that mould, but a lot of like phase 1 and phase 2 is fairly cookie cutter in parts.
Yeah, and I obviously it's better for us if they just keep doing this content, but also
remember that year when no movies came out, Connor?
Tough. It was a tough year, Shaun.
Tough year for the show.
But what I would say is, like, she has a point. Like, every film, if she doesn't want to do that, and she's like, we're exhausted. I don't like them. I would much rather just do a different character that is not involved in one of these films. So I think we can fairly substantially say that maybe she's not going to be playing Sue Storm in the next Fantastic Four film.
I think so, and I think that's fair. But Krasinski might.
Krasinski could be in. So then that asks the question of, who are you casting? Because I think John Cena could be in for The Thing. I don't know if... There's no actual news. That is literally my opinion.
That's
but
just what you think.
I think Cena could be in for The Thing, and I think that'd be good casting, unless you're going to cast Dave Bautista. But he's already in the MCU.
That's true, yeah. And I think he said recently as well, like, Guardians 3 is his last thing as Drax. Once he's done with Drax, he's done with the MCU, basically.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah, like leave with that character kind of a deal. I don't know who else you would have on that team, because if it's, say, Krasinski and Cena, who do you get as Sue Storm? In that case, I think Jennifer Lawrence was in the running, like in the rumours last week.
Yes, Jennifer Lawrence would be good casting. Florence Pugh?
I would have said Florence Pugh until...
She's already in it.
She's already in it.
Half of Hollywood is already in it.
We're already out of our... I'm going to... Here, Invisible Woman dream casting.
Okay.
And we'll see who comes up.
Jessica Alba.
That'd be a bold move. That would be a bold move. Who's this lady? Britt Marling? I don't know who that is. Diana Agron?
From Glee.
From Glee.
Or best known from that movie, I Am Number 4. That's a big shout to the lads.
Very good. Lily James? She is Deborah in Baby Driver.
Yes.
Who else? I'm picking and choosing here. Mackenzie Davis. She was in the most recent Terminator.
Yeah, I mean, they're all wonderful women that could definitely play Sue Storm, I'm assuming.
Yes, and Rachel Brosnan, who's in Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Pierce's daughter? Is she Pierce's daughter?
No, it's spelt different. But I also thought it, Connor. I also thought it for a while.
I think, look, anyone you bring in is cool. I think if out of everyone, I think they'll go for Jennifer Lawrence. If
Saoirse
they do.
Ronan.
I think we have the back Saoirse. But I can't bear to watch another press tour where everyone's just like, Saoirse? Saoirse,
how do you say your name? It's not hard. It's not fucking hard.
Saoirse.
This is not journalism.
So, how long did you work out for the role?
I do think, like, in terms of generating a buzz, casting Jennifer Lawrence would be a good move, because it'll all be but she was Mystique. What? What does that mean? And everyone's talking about your movie then.
Like, I think Lawrence, Krasinski, Cena. I still have a Johnny Storm. I don't really know who you play. Johnny Storm. Also, Marvel have Johnny Storm and Johnny Blaze. I feel like, Stan, you just maybe pick a different name than Johnny.
Yeah, just Jimmy Blaze.
Jimmy Blaze.
Okay, this is the last thing I'll say on Sue Storm casting. What if you got Jenna Fisher?
She's back.
She's
the dream
back. It's
team.
Jim and Pam once again.
Steve Carell is Johnny Storm.
Oh my god, yes. And Rainn Wilson is the Thing.
Yes. What a cast! I would watch that.
That would be good. That would be class, actually, Connor.
Yeah, I think Hollywood need to bring us in. We can give you some tips.
Absolutely, this conversation has already been had in a writer's room.
Yeah, someone has said, what about Steve Carell as Johnny Storm? That's been definitely said.
Well, we know what we're not doing, Simon.
It's either Steve Carell or Michael B. Jordan. That's the two choices we have for this film. Fan force take.
or a Timothy Chalamet type.
That's a call back to last week, where there's a studio currently looking for Timothy Chalamet or Michael B. Jordan.
What role can both of those fill?
They're just so far apart.
In like build, in like
age, height, everything.
In like typical genre that they do.
Yeah, just like, are we looking for a really intimidating man, or are we looking for Michael B. Jordan? It's one of the two.
It's like, can Timothée Chalamet be in Creed?
Creed 3. He's replacing him.
Creed Timothy.
So, Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this involves Enola Holmes. Now, Enola Holmes was a movie that came out on Netflix last year, and this is big news because we now know there's been lots of rumours about what Henry Cavill is going to be doing. Is he Superman? Is he not Superman? Is he in or out? Is he pumping his arms for the next Mission Impossible? Nobody knows. What we can confirm is that he's not going to not only will he be doing The Witcher, but now he's going to be in the sequel to Enola Holmes with Millie Bobby Brown back again. They have greenlit another one, Shaun.
Presumably called Enola Holmes 2, correct?
It's called Enola Holmes 2, yes. I think so.
Excellent. So this was the Sherlock Holmes kind of spin-off movie series. Did fairly well on Netflix, I think. It made the Sherlock Holmes estate real angry because Sherlock Holmes had emotion, which apparently he's not able to have.
But that's because he was played by Henry Cavill, he's too likeable.
He is, like, yeah, even when he's playing unlikable Witcher, he's likeable.
You scallywag.
You little rogue, yeah. No, that, like, I'm glad Henry Cavill is doing well. Like, I just want him to be happy in his movie roles. And if being Sherlock
Millie Bobby
Holmes,
Brown, I'm glad she's doing well too. She's got like her own little franchise now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, like outside of the Stranger Things thing, like she's like successful. She's branching out. She has other projects on the go.
There's also 6 of the Enola Holmes mysteries books, which means they have several different ideas or avenues to go down for sequels. So there could be like a third one even in this, or a fourth one if they want to keep going down that way.
Or conceivably a 5th or 6th one, Connor.
I don't know if you'll get all 6. I feel like all 6 might be a bit of a stretch.
Oh, it'd be nice though, like, because then you, like, if they release them on DVD, you could have a bookcase as like the DVD spine.
Very good, yes.
Yeah. You have to think about package design when you're making your movies.
That's really the main thing when script writing comes into it.
No, delighted. Good, a bit of good news, and that's not a rumour, that's confirmed.
That's confirmed that Millie Bobby Brown and Henry Cavill are back, yeah. Do you think that they'll have... Because Henry Cavill is such a big star, and I think they work really well, the two of them, in that film, and even on the press tour, all very charming people on the press tour. Them two and Sam Claflin, he was the other one. And so he was Hunger Games stars, Sam Claflin. But he was... The 3 of them were all very good in the roles, I think, but it's interesting. I read this and I think, Henry Cavill, are they like getting him in to do his own film?
As in like
as a Sherlock Holmes movie?
I don't know if they're fully allowed, are they? Because I think... Do Warner Brothers have the rights to a Sherlock Holmes movie at the minute?
And they're hell-bent on RDJ coming back.
Yeah, and I think he is. I think that's a thing that's happening. So I don't know if they can do a full-on Sherlock Holmes thing until maybe the rights revert, or the rights are up for sale again. And then you have a Sherlock Holmes right there, like established. And then you have a Sherlock Holmes cinematic universe. If you then you do a Joker style movie, but it's Moriarty. Natural progression. You do Hound of the Baskervilles, but from the Hound's perspective.
And then there's a bigger bad that comes along, and Moriarty's like, fuck, I better go good and team up with Enola and Sherlock, and we're going to solve this.
That's it. And then he says, detectives assemble at the end of it.
Oh, shit! And when the Hound flies into his arm.
Oh, very good. And then they just have to solve clues while getting the shit kicked out of them.
Is that a fingerprint? Just as he's getting punched in the head.
It's something.
Yeah, I just saw they're doing another one. I think this is pretty good news. It's just a small piece of that Netflix are consistently now putting out more stuff with Legendary Entertainment as well. So I think Netflix, they're very much using this to, like, you bring out a film on there and let's just keep, if it makes money, let's keep doing it. So this is going to be more and more common in the next few years, that Netflix are going to have their own films, like Knives Out 2. Like, they're after buying the rights to that as well. They're kind of seeing that movies are the way to go.
Yeah, and like the series as well, the limited series and things that they do, those are working for them. It's nice seeing them branch out into literally bigger picture stuff as well, like more budget, more crew, more bigger stories, I suppose.
And Henry Cavill has told Zack Snyder to go fuck himself, and he's just getting that Netflix money from The Witcher and this.
I don't need Superman. I'm happy being The Witcher, guys.
So we are going to move on to our next piece of news, and this involves Margot Robbie. Now, this isn't really more so just confirmed news, but there was a chat with Margot Robbie during the week, and it came up that Poison Ivy has not appeared in the DCEU. Yet. And of course Margot Robbie has a bit of a sway when it comes to the DC studios, and so they asked her about it, and she said, "Trust me, I have been chewing their ears off about doing a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy movie since the moment I joined." So to me this indicates that this probably won't be the last time we hear of a Harley Poison Ivy film that could be happening.
Yeah, I think that, like, it'd be weirder not to do it after it, like, all the stuff's gone on in the comics and the TV shows. Have you watched the Harley Quinn series yet?
I have not watched it yet, Shaun, but I've heard it's very good.
Very good. Very good Harley Quinn in that. Very good Poison Ivy as well.
Okay.
And I think, like, it just adds more credence to why you should do an Ivy and Harley movie. Like, and I feel like you could have had Birds of Prey been received better, that could have been like the Birds of Prey sequel could have introduced Poison Ivy.
Now, they haven't not stated that there is a Birds of Prey sequel, so, like, it's not confirmed yes or no.
They haven't not stated. I'm trying to work one out in my head.
No, never mind. So they haven't turned down the idea yet.
Right, okay, yeah.
So it's not a case of they said we're definitely not doing it, but they also haven't said, yeah, it's greenlit, it's in production right now.
It's in cinemas now, guys.
Next week, guys. I think what could have happened is they're constantly trying to do a Harley Quinn movie because they know Margot Robbie's one of the biggest stars in the world. Yeah. And so they have her playing Harley Quinn. Perfect casting. And ever since the start, they've been trying to make her, like, the main protagonist of all these films. Yeah. And there was a really interesting thing. She had a chat with James Gunn when he first came on the Suicide Squad. And she mentioned in an interview that she basically told him she didn't want to be the centre of the story, and in fact she'd rather use Harley as, like, the inciting incident for a whole host of other issues to crop up. So, like, Harley is the wild card that she just does something and it sets off a whole series of events that the main people have to solve.
Yeah, now you have to fix this because she caused it.
Whereas before, it very much felt like the DCEU was like, she's our cash cow. We're going to write the story around her and Will Smith, and it's just going to be the two of them.
Yeah, and they're the main characters, but she just wants to... No, Harley just exists in this world, and this is what she does.
Yeah, and I think...
It's not about her.
No, and I think once they have that down, that's great, but I also think that Birds of Prey not doing as well as they hope. We review Birds of Prey. We think it's a good movie. Like, it's lots of fun.
I like more of it than I dislike of it, if that makes sense. Yeah,
absolutely. I think it's much better than Shazam.
Oh, it's way better than Shazam.
Like
it's certainly better than Suicide Squad.
Yeah, like it's right up there with just, like, you have Ewan McGregor in that role. Like, I think everyone in that is really good, and it's just a case of, it's a shame that it didn't do well, because I think it would have been perfect, as you said. Poison Ivy comes into that sequel, and then you have the Birds of Prey and Harley and Poison Ivy and maybe Batwoman or Batgirl is in it as well. Like, you include one of them and introduce the Batworld into it, because you have it all there. You have Huntress there as well already, who's kind of a Gotham hero, so just lean more into it and you can just spread it out and just get more and more of these characters in. So it's a shame that it didn't do as well as they wanted, because it might set back the Poison Ivy Harley Quinn team up that we all want.
Yeah, and like I would, if they were to do it, I would want it in the kind of world that James Gunn's Suicide Squad seems to live in, and Birds of Prey. Like, they both have a very similar feeling tone. Like, I don't want the Joker version of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. That's going to be miserable. No. I want, make it fun and comic booky and a little bit silly, but also like it's good and it has good action, and they feel like real characters.
And do you think that a Poison Ivy Harley Quinn film just on their own would work? Like, if they just named it Harley and Poison Ivy, or would they have to introduce somebody else and have them as the villains?
You need to watch the show, man, because like some of the best stuff is just Harley and Ivy existing together,
just hanging out.
Yeah, because the way Ivy, this isn't a spoiler, the way Ivy is played, she's very focused and like has a plan and does her own thing, but Harley is like this, as you said earlier, just pure chaos.
Yeah, and I think that's very comic book accurate.
Yeah, and just seeing them bounce off each other like that, it's entertaining because it's an odd couple scenario.
Yeah, so I think that's why people love them in the comic books. Like, that's how they, and even say in Batman the Animated Series, like, that's how they come across. Harley is very much like, anything could happen at any given time, and she just might be walking down the street, they're like, I'm going to blow up that building, and then she'll look to her left, she goes, no, I might change my mind, I'm going to blow up that building. I just randomly change my mind, I'm going to just rob that bank that I just walked past. Whereas Poison Ivy has a plan, and she's very methodical, and she's always constantly like, Harley, shut up, no. But then if somebody slags Harley or like demeans her anyway, she will just turn around and go, what the fuck did you just say to her? I will kill you.
Yeah, and like, if you do this, don't do the Poison Ivy origin. She just exists. She's just in the world and she meets Harley Quinn. That's it. That's all it needs to be. They meet in Arkham. They meet in Arkham, exactly. They help each other break out, and then that's how they become friends.
Yeah, I think that... Do you think Margot Robbie will get this across the line, or do you think we'll ever see Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn together?
Oh man, if there's anyone that can do it, it is Margot Robbie, I think, because she can push for change in that universe. She seems to be the only one who's like consistently trying to get it to work.
Trying to make it better, guys.
Yeah. And so I think if there's anyone that can do it, she can. I just hope the fucking studio listens to her.
Do you know the only people trying to make that universe work are like her and Dave Bautista, who isn't even in the universe, going, make me Bane.
Make me Bane. I'll be Bane, guys.
So we're going to finish Shaun this week with a bit of news that came out that, so over the last few years, the main thing that has been happening is that studios want a Marvel 21 film run where they have, at the end of it, a big fucking team up where everybody's in it and you get all the audience in because everybody's just excited to see them.
Yes.
And so, of course, there's a little studio that owns all of Venom and all of the Spider-Men. And that studio is known as Sony. And they are currently doing Venom Let There Be Carnage. But the news this week is we have finally kind of confirmed what we all kind of knew, was that Sony are very much planning a Venom Maximum Carnage to be basically their endgame. That they want to be the same as Marvel's endgame and get people in, Shaun.
But they want it in the next 5 years, and there's 2 films between now and then.
Yeah, they don't really want to put the time in or like the money, but they'd like the return.
They'd like all of the profits, please.
So this is interesting, Shaun. What is Maximum Carnage as a story? What can you tell us? So
it's an event featuring, as you can tell by the title, Carnage, Cletus Cassidy. Basically, he escapes from Ravencroft Asylum. And just basically just goes on a rampage, starts killing everyone. In he breaks a few people out with him. So you have the likes of Shriek, who is kind of another symbiote that he gives powers to. And I think we heard in news, might have been a few months ago, they were working on like a Shriek project.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, would that spiral out from this movie? Or would this have been incorporated into that? But basically, there's a team assembled to fight Carnage and his goons.
The Carnage goons are Shriek, Carrion, Doppelganger, and the Demo Goblin.
Yeah, none of which have appeared so far, by the way. Demo Goblin, pretty much Green Goblin, by the way.
Just different version.
Yeah, and but the thing is, like, they're all Spider-Man villains, because that's how Carnage knows them.
What do Sony love? They love Spider-Man, but they don't have Venom and Spider-Man in the same universe.
No, they don't. Now, Venom is more like a kind of a hero at this point. So he teams up with Spider-Man, Cap, Black Cat, Cloak and Dagger, Iron Fist, Morbius, and Firestar.
So far, the team that they can put together is Venom and Morbius.
Yeah, the two movies that they have. Yeah, exactly. So, that's going to be an odd one. They could conceivably just introduce a Black Cat, maybe. I could see that working. And Spider-Man is like, I am not going to, like, kill anyone. Like, that's not something I'm going to do. And Venom's like, I'm going to kill anyone to stop Carnage. And basically, it's I had to look up a bit of it, and the way that they solve the problem is that they get a device from Iron Fist's company, and it projects feelings of love and hope into the villains, overwhelming them.
They beat him with love. I love when storylines do that.
And then the whole thing culminates basically with Venom kicking the shit out of Carnage, which I guarantee you is the only reason that they're calling this Maximum Carnage. I think this is going to be Venom and Morbius, maybe Black Cat somehow, team up, Batman v Superman style. And
now, there is rumours though that Shriek will be in Let There Be Carnage. So that's the Venom Let There Be Carnage. So then they will have Carnage and Shriek in the mix already.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Shriek has the ability to manipulate sound based on her name. She escapes the asylum with Carnage, with Cletus Cassidy. So you can have her just introduced in that movie. That would be grand. That would make sense.
Okay. And Carrion?
Carrion... What do I know about Carrion?
It related to Spider-Man's infamous clothes saga. Shaun.
Yes, that's it. He blames Spider-Man for Gwen Stacy's death, and he goes to the Magia, who are basically the Mafia, and is like, let me kill Spider-Man.
So what you're doing is you're introducing a character that is famous from Spider-Man's clothes saga series in the comic books, but you don't have Spider-Man.
Yes, so yeah, and like he's a clone. Carrion is a clone of the Jackal, who created all the clones of Spider-Man because he blamed Spider-Man for Gwen Stacy's death. We're not going to get into the clone saga because it will take forever to cover that thing. Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. So yeah, you have this character intimately tied to a cloning of Peter Parker, one of the most like iconic moments of Peter Parker's life that has basically been written into that character's blood in a world where Peter Parker has not shown up yet. Also, they don't have Cloak and Dagger or Iron Fist, as they're both part of Marvel Television. Yeah, that's... Or Cap, obviously. But they don't have a Cap, no. It's a bold one to put forward, because it could just be Maximum Carnage in name only, and you're not going to have this big team up. But then, like, was it Sony sold it as this will be our end game? Yeah, that's what they've stated, yes. Wow. Okay. So they need to make up some characters real quick.
I mean, who else could actually possibly appear? Because you have Morbius and you have Venom on one side. You can't have Spider-Man. He's Tom Holland in a completely separate universe.
Yeah,
and
you could conceivably have Vulture.
Can you have Vulture?
He showed up in the Morbius trailer.
Oh, he did. But are they going to do a WandaVision thing where he's not Vulture, but he is Vulture?
I can't take two of those.
I don't know. Like, yeah, you could have Vulture in it, but it seems like, once again, the idea is good, but do they have the bodies to pull this off?
I don't know. I kind of feel like this is a project that they didn't mean to announce. Like, this surely should have had... You should have more than one film out when you announce this. Like, they just have Venom at the minute.
Man of Steel. Yes. No, you definitely should have more than one announced before you start launching the team setups.
That's very true, actually. That's very true. Unless, right, you do some kind of multiverse of madness scenario.
Right, let's just... yeah, okay.
Hear me out, Connor.
Okay, I'm in the setting, right? I work for Sony, and I love money. Shaun, sell me what we're going to do.
Okay, so look, we need to do Maximum Carnage. It's the only thing that will save this company. So
it's the only thing.
What I propose, we do a multiversal scenario. Hear me out. We'll put it in the after credits of Spider-Verse 2. It'll make sense because they own that, right?
But that's animated. People won't know that that's related to us.
Oh no, they just need to show a wormhole opening up. That's it.
Okay.
We use a property we already own, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Because what we need, Connor, is a bunch of convenient, easy to explain origins for villains. And what?
And you're thinking, are we thinking the same thing?
I think we're thinking the same
LexCorp.
We have some kind of hacking scene in a computer. I've made a load of logos ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, they're already done?
They're already done. We open up the vaults, and there's just a bunch of backpacks that give people superpowers.
Fuck, like a Green Goblin backpack, and maybe
Green Goblin, I'm thinking Rhino.
Oh, shit. Yeah. And are we bringing Garfield back?
Garf is back.
The cat and the man.
The cat and the man. He hates Mondays. And
that's just Andrew.
And he doesn't work on Mondays. It's really difficult for filming. But, like, that's the only way. Like, you need to do some level of bullshit like that to just have, here's 6 villains that we can just add into the Venom-verse.
Could they necessarily use The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Like, it's not inconceivable. I don't know if they could do Peter Parker. But,
no.
Like, you have in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Gwen Stacy did die. They did do Death of Gwen Stacy. So you could have it that someone cloned Peter Parker. Instead of teaming up with Peter Parker, they team up with either Ben Reilly or Kane Parker, who are the clones.
Jesus Christ.
You cannot tell me that's any more ludicrous than anything else Sony will come up with.
But the fact that we're trying to figure this out implies to me that they're like, sure, fuck it, it'll be grand. There's no way they're putting this much thought into this.
I know, but it totally works. Because we said last week, Venom and the Amazing Spider-Man universe, they kind of fit together.
They do.
So you like, and if you want Carrion in there, just have him be the mad fucking cloning lad.
Oh, lads, we're away with it. I think this is perfect. This is $3 billion. Endgame, we're coming for you.
Oh, top movie of all time. I would say, like, now and in the future is going to be Maximum Carnage.
James Cameron's shaking in his fucking boots. No, that this is coming down the line.
But, like, presumably in Venom Let There Be Carnage, Venom's going to beat Carnage.
Yes.
So now, Maximum Carnage, he's going to need to be even more carnage.
Yeah, but he's going to have a team behind him at that stage. And Venom only has Morbius, so he's working with Jared.
That's a hindrance right there.
Yeah.
Okay. God, I'm excited now to see. I'm finally excited about a Sony project now that we've solved all the problems of it.
So, Shaun, I think that's actually it for this week's Movie Mondays.
It's quite a week. A lot of rumours, but a lot of good discussion, I think, Connor.
Just discussion, just chats.
Just chats with the lads.
Yes.
Will I take us out, Connor?
Yes, please.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We'll be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero or Zero, and next Monday then with another episode of Movie Mondays. Big thanks goes out to everyone who supports us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that in the description. Massive shout outs go out to Waffles Loves You and says protect trans youth, LGBTQIA plus rights are human rights. Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe RateMyHemsworth.com, Click Rate, Click Luke, Refresh Repeat, Never Give Up, Hickok Didn't, Bernie, Ray, my father is a women's rights activist, not my mum, Dad wouldn't allow that, Ging.
Fuck's sake.
Excellent Flight of the Conchords reference. Róisín, Schrödóisìn, Hally, Ryan Satron Paint, Evanson, Shaun, Bone, Jamieson, Dominic, Jessiah, Florida Gal Green, Anna Maureen has the fry on Hjelmroos. Lil Dicky Who, what, where, when and why are the Eternals McGrew.
I agree.
And Danny McLaughlin. Thanks everyone very much for the continued support. Really do appreciate it. If you didn't catch it, we did put up our review of X-Men Origins Wolverine. That went up on Patreon recently. There should be a new one coming out in the next few weeks as well, so if you have any ideas for movies you'd like us to add to the hat, let us know. Email them or put them on Patreon. We'll throw them in. We'll see. Maybe we'll get a good one this month.
Yeah,
probably not, but look,
no.
Other ways to support the show, you can follow us on all the socials. They're all down there. We do have a Spreadshirt store if you want to get any Heroes for Hire merch, but the most important thing, just tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I have been Ciara Lawler.
I have been Shaun Meehan.
I will see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.